What's going on, guys? It's FlippingNataly, and if you guys are new to the channel, I started flipping furniture with only $100 to start out with, and now we've made thousands of dollars in pure profit. But today it is a very special day because I am finally refurbishing something for myself and Nathaniel for our bedroom set. We bought a mid-century set for our bedroom, and today in this video you guys will see me refurbishing these beautiful nightstands. We are kind of rearranging our garage here, so don't mind the mess around it, but we are using a special tool for this. I got this off of Amazon. It was like $25. It works very well. As you can see, I kind of already started here. This is a scraper, and it kind of just takes off the finish off old pieces. I believe this is from the 60s. The brand is Harmony House. So I did a little research on Harmony House. This was furniture made at Sears. They did a really good job on trying to cover up what it actually is. Now, a lot of it is made out of real wood, the base of it, but a lot of it is made out of plywood, and the tops are made out of pressed wood, and it just has a very thin veneer on top. So that's why we are going to use this to be very careful with the veneer on top. So as you can see, it's bringing up the finish. I finally got the sander I've been wanting to try out, but I see pretty much all woodworkers use, except for the really fancy ones. But it's a simple $70 Dewalt Sander. It's a corded one because I don't have batteries for Dewalt, and this is pretty much the only Dewalt tool I have, so it wouldn't make sense to buy a bunch of batteries for this. I'm trying to stay away from the sides because I don't want the veneer to start coming up, because the sides can be really sensitive. I'm going in with 120 grit sandpaper. The higher grit you go, the less the stain will penetrate, so I think 120 is a happy medium. This is the most sanding I have ever done to a piece, but it also surprisingly was very satisfying seeing all that finish come up. And later on, you guys are going to see how the stain really makes the wood grain pop. I love it. So this is how it came out after all the sanding. I realized that this is actually plastic, so I'm not going to be sanding this. And I didn't do the legs either. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the legs. I'm going to test like stain one and see if it kind of matches the same stain, but if not, then I'll have to sand all the legs. I didn't know this was plastic, so that's kind of a bummer. We're going to find out what happens, because obviously I have the stain right here in this box. I knew that gel stain was a lot different than regular stain, so I didn't know how much I was going to use, but turns out I didn't need a whole entire gallon of it. So I got the antique walnut in gel stain. I never used gel stain before. This is my first time, but I got highly recommended to it, so I'm gonna go ahead and try it out. Since I thought the drawers were plastic, I went ahead and tested out a piece just to see what it would look like if I put some stain on top, and how close can I get to making it all look very uniform. So I'm going ahead and doing a test piece here. But I didn't like it, so I knew I had to figure something else out. Here I'm going in with some wood filler just to fill in that little gashes. Actually, I got the courage to just go ahead and scrape some of the drawers and just see what was there. And lo and behold, there was a very thin piece of veneer under the plastic, and then you could see that the trim under it is wood. I think it's very important to know what you're working with. Like, it's a veneer, what is it? Is it just a plastic top? Is it wood? Because that's going to determine what technique you'll use. So I went ahead and tried the best I could to sand everything down with the little handle wood piece, I went ahead and hand sanded it with 120. After sanding, I cleaned everything and then I went in with mineral spirits to see if I missed anything, but I didn't, so I went ahead and started staining it with General Finishes Antique Walnut. This is gel stain and it's a wipe on, wipe off stain, and it was my first time using it and I thoroughly enjoyed it. When I first put it on there, I kind of got scared because of how dark it was, but when I wiped it off, I couldn't be more pleased. And enjoy the rest of this, because this is my favorite part, just watching that wood grain pop. Man, that looks good. I can't even lie. It looks way better than what I anticipated it looking like. After staining both of the nightstands, I went ahead and closed the garage for 24 hours and came back to the next morning to it looking beautiful and ready to put a varnish on it. I did a lot of research before I chose what I wanted to finish it with, but ultimately I went ahead and used Wipe On Poly, the oil-based. So why I decided to use this one is because something like Danish oil looks very beautiful and brings out the wood grain, and it's more of a, I guess, more of a matte finish. It goes and absorbs into the wood. With poly, it sits on top of the wood, so I feel like I can have a better protection, and also that I can probably refinish it better if I wanted to in the future. I let it rest for 24 hours, even though the back of the bottle says that you can do it within 2 to 3 hours. I just went ahead and waited the 24, and I went ahead and sanded it with 220 grit sandpaper and went in again, and I did this 4 times. Here's a quick before of what it used to look like. Here it is, all finished. Well, at least one of them. I put 4 coats of poly and wait till next week till I do the long dresser, and then the video after that will be the tall boy. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.